Hello, everybody. This is Daniel Green, CPA. Always looking after my clients. And one of the things I've noticed is the return on your investments are just pathetic. Sorry being so blunt, but they are. I invest with a gentleman named Cherif Medawar. Known him for 8 years. And I looked at that and said, wait a minute, if I'm investing, why don't I share this with my client base? So I asked Cherif if he would share with us his opportunity. And realistically, the reason I'm involved in it is the interest, the return that I get is better than anything else, but the safety. We've got, all this property is cross-collateralized. Anyways, Cherif, let me introduce you. This is Cherif Medawar. He's a hedge fund manager, real estate trainer, just phenomenal, all-around fantastic guy. Did I leave anything out, Cherif?
And no, thank you, Daniel, and
Okay.
I appreciate this introduction. I prepared actually a few PowerPoints, if I may share the screen.
Yeah, I was going to say you've got your PowerPoint. Go ahead and show that. That's awesome.
Yes, I would love that because it just will keep us on cue. So the fund is called SFI Fund, which is Secured Fixed Income Fund. And I've been in the fund business for many years. So let me just tell you why you should invest when people ask, why should I invest with you? And they can go to sfifund.com. There is an actual presentation I've done for 14 minutes that talks about details of the fund. But I just want to explain who I am and how you and I build this relationship, and your family invest with me, and I'm very appreciative of that. I have my own family members, my own money in the fund. So just kind of 10 key points here. I've been a real estate investor for over 30 years, and that's key because I've seen so many cyclical changes in the market, so many downturns and upturns, and I've done well through the years. I have actually decided to educate people over 20 years ago. It was in 1998 when I started my first event. So I've been an educator and a trainer. I even have a couple books that were bestsellers, Blue Ocean Opportunities in Commercial Real Estate. It's right there on Amazon. And you've been to some of my events, and I do advanced training. So it's just all there, very transparent, the methods I use. As a fund manager, I started in 2009 when the market was very difficult and people were trying to tell me, listen, we can't do what you do, we want to invest with you. And they saw that I knew how to position myself to make money when the market goes down. So I'm a fund manager filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission for over 10 years, performing very well. We've never lost on any deals. And we even did the payouts here for COVID-19. We still did the payout. People get paid and they're happy. My methods and my productions of trainings have produced over 2,000 video success stories on YouTube. I have a lot of trainings free that I offer people. And the reason for doing that is to show people how we invest. The end goal is for people to realize if you're not making enough money and return on your time, come and invest with us. We have the infrastructure. We have the properties, over 100 million of assets, always performing very well. I was trained by a billionaire. Here is a picture of me when I was 26 years old. Actually 25 or 26, I can't remember. The billionaire, his name is Edmond Bessari. He passed away in 2016, unfortunately. This is in front of his castle in France, Chateau de Madame de Pompadour. It's in the Loire Valley, a couple hours from Paris. I was his right-hand man. And the man was called by Harvard Business School, they called him the man with two brains. I mean, the early 80s, just think about it, a billionaire, you can count them on one hand. And Edmond Bessari was an international real estate man, and I would go speak on his behalf, make the deals on his behalf, and I became an expert in real estate because of him. My method, my processes are simple. I use something called the FACT system. I find the right properties in the right locations. I analyze the numbers in a very methodical manner. I control the transactions and negotiations. And then I time the process of the due diligence, and I strategize to take properties to their highest and best use. This picture is in one of the properties we've had in San Francisco. We deal with a lot of luxury homes there as well as commercial properties. You can see when they go to sfifund.com, they can see the filing on the SEC. We like everything very transparent. It's full disclosure. We've been with the SEC many, many years, and we've taught people how to actually make it happen with their own syndication. We've taught other people how to do it. My team is very reachable. I am always available. I respond to emails, texts with my investors and students to make sure they are able to deliver. This slide, I want to focus on it for a minute because you hit it right on the head when you asked me, Cherif, tell everybody why we're together, because we've known each other for so long. And the key thing I focus on is safety. This is not some pie in the sky. The minimum investment in the fund is $25,000. And then they can invest fractional. Like I have people, 37,000, they can invest that IRA money or something. Once they get the first share, 25,000, they can invest more. And at $250,000 plus, they get 8%. At 25,000 to 249, they get 6%. But number one thing I want to focus on right here is safety. The money invested, whether 25,000 or 2.5 million, that money is safely secured against all the assets in the fund. That's why it's called a hedge fund, because we hedge their actual risk against all the assets, over 100 million in assets that are actually performing assets for the fund. This margin of safety is so huge that if you care about safety, it's right there, number one. Number two, we have cash flow. We have paid reliable cash flows from 2009, when the market was bad in 2010, 11, 12, and then stabilized 2013 and went up. We've never missed a payment. We pay semi-annually, February 28, August 31st, 6% or 8% based on how much money they put in. We also have liquidity. People don't have to be stuck for 5 or 7 years like these syndications that have just one asset and there is risk, etc. Liquidity, people can cash out with a 12 months notice, and we cash them out within the 12 months. And we have reserves. We always have extra cash reserves because we do some rehabs, we do some developments. We also have cash flow from mixed-use commercial buildings. We have no fees. We charge no acquisition fees, no management fees, no disposition fees. It was set up for the students in this education company, friends and family, and then it mushroomed and grew into something wonderful and bigger, and we continue the no fee structure. Once everybody gets paid, I get paid, the team that works with me, the architect, the brokers, etc. Everybody gets paid after everybody that's investing gets paid. We have diversification. We're diversified by location. We're in San Francisco, we're in Florida, we're in Michigan, and we're in Puerto Rico. We're diversified by type of assets. We have luxury residential in San Francisco. We have mixed-use commercial in Puerto Rico. We have single tenant, and now we're having assisted living facilities. We have 3 coming up, 1 in Florida next to Fort Lauderdale, and 2 in Michigan that are in great locations, amazing, amazing properties gonna be rolled out in 2021. We're also diversified by type of investing and style of investing, meaning the residential in San Francisco, we fix and flip. The commercial, we reposition and hold for cash flow for the fund. So the diversification is very powerful as an added margin of safety. And there is no hassle for the investors. Daniel, you're in the fund, there is no hassle. There is no decisions on your part. We handle everything. You get paid steady, and there is zero liability. You cannot get sued for any activities of the fund. It's a debt fund, which keeps you away from any liability. We recommend for people to come into the fund, even if they want to put IRA money or Roth 401k, and they can probably consult with you for that. I want them to ask you first. I want them to get your blessing. You know what you're doing. But this slide right here, if people are watching, they can take a screenshot with their phone and they can see these are 8 critical reasons why we've not only survived, but we prospered for the past 10 years plus. The core team we have has been with me for over 10 years. And these are project managers, brokers, title agent people, like we use Old Republic Title in San Francisco area. They're one of the best, biggest offices. In Puerto Rico, we have in-house attorneys, etc. We even have co-sponsors. And Daniel, I mean, you're now an expert in the fund structure that we have. We also have other expertise as asset protection. I know we've done a video together for asset protection, tax reduction. They can come to you to talk about the tax incentives we have, where we can get them down to 15% flat. We can have ways for people to avoid 1031 exchange. Instead of rolling their money into another property, they can roll their money right into the fund. This is huge because they can cash out their cost basis and roll the profits into the fund, way better than normal 1031 exchange. So I said I'm going to give 10 reasons. I'm giving 12 reasons. Most importantly, I invest my own money, my family's money, friends, like yours invest the money with me. We have a proven track record in every economic cycle and a huge competitive advantage based on the business models we have. People can want to see success stories. We have a sister fund also called Mixif from mixif.com. It's been in business also long term, never lost on any transactions. They can go to mixif.com. Here is the actual initial Medawar International Group Secured Income Fund. You can see the success stories. People have been with us. We have 67 accounts there. People have been with us for over a decade. And they talk about how great, how steady they can focus on their profession or on traveling or whatever stage they are in life. Their money is compounding for them. 8% compounded, I don't have to tell you, can be 20% if the 18 and a half years later, it just compounds and it's like annual rate of return that is steady, reliable. This is not like stock market going one, down, up, down. Or it's not like these people trying to do wholesale that work so hard or trying to buy triple net properties that are actually like big tenants like Walgreens or whatever. You can even get 3.5%, 4% return. We pay the 8%, we pay it steady. And those who want to do this can go to sfifund.com. They can fill out the information online, or they can email me, CEO@sfifund.com, and they can say, Daniel Green had this presentation. I listened to him, I'm a client of his, or they can actually contact your office, right? What's the best way to contact your office? Is there a website or email?
Yeah, they can go on the website, DanielEGreenCPA.com, or call 951-587-3789. Or Google Daniel E. Green CPA.
In Temecula,
yes. All the ways to get in touch with me. Or just like you said, sfifund.com gives the information as well.
info@sfifund.com. We have a video presentation there for 14 minutes to go over all the details. Then people email us, we follow up right away and we make it happen. So this is the beauty about having that fixed return with no hassle, cross collateral on safety. And that's how we make it easy for everybody to invest and make it happen.
And Cherif mentioned it. That's where our money is. We're invested with Cherif. Like I said, no hassle. We wrote a check, and our fund is growing every year.
Thank you, man.
I like the security aspect of it. Matter of fact, Cherif, funny story. I was talking to a gentleman yesterday that's trading in. He's doing futures and, puts and calls and all that. And I said, well, how's that working out for you? He goes, well, this year I'm almost even. And I said, okay, are you doing it for money? You're trying to make money, or is this a hobby? No, I'm trying to make money. But your goal is to break even. And, we talked about the fund, and I think he wants to invest. He wants to know more information. But it's interesting how many people are just not wanting to lose money. Yeah. And I said, that's the wrong attitude. Cherif shows you how to make money.
Yes.
So,
yes. Between you and me, we show them how to make money, and then you show them how to pay the least amount of taxes legally. And that compounding effect is just phenomenal.
Oh, sure.
Yes.
In my office, there's one of the walls painted. It says the key to financial success is tax planning. So
that's true.
Pay the least amount of tax, take that money, put it in the fund, and grow your wealth.
That's so true. I remember in the early 2000s, my taxes were so high, we had to crack the code. And once I did that, it changed my life because the compounding effect was so phenomenal. It's like every 3 years of my life became like 1 year. So it compressed the time of my financial success. And
if you're successful, and in California, more than a third of that goes to the government. If you don't do good tax planning.
Yes.
So, every 3 years you would get another year of working. So,
yeah, very true. And right now with COVID-19, actually we realized that 1031 exchange, instead of people want to sell, and then they're saying, okay, I'm selling at top dollars still, but I don't want to roll my money in another property that's very expensive. And so many people now that are retiring saying, I don't want to deal with any more real estate. I don't want to manage a fourplex. I don't want to manage an apartment building. I just want to have my money working for me at a net 8%, no fees, no hassles. somebody that can pay me steady, that has a history of performing, that knows what it, and that's when we come in with the fund and
You know, I mean, as a CPA, I get pitched opportunities all the time.
sure.
And, you know, I'm kind of known in the real estate sector. And I can't tell you how many times I get people that say, you know, we're going to do this fix and flip. You want to invest? I say, great. How many, you know, what's the portfolio look like? Well, this is, you know, we're going to do this fix and flip.
Mm-hmm.
One property? No, you know, I like the fact that, you know, there's $100 million worth of property in the fund that secures it. I mean, you know me, I'm very, very conservative when it comes to my money.
Yes.
And the security feature for me is key, and the return.
Absolutely. You know, Warren Buffett says rule number one is don't lose the capital. Rule number two, don't forget rule number one.
Right.
Well, for us, rule number one is safety. Of course, don't lose the capital. But rule number two has to be the cash flow, because this is real estate. And the cash flow has been awesome for us because we actually do the repair and the improvement on these properties in San Francisco. We sell them, so we get big cash infusions and are able to do more deals. And then we have the commercial properties that we reposition that provide the steady cash flow. So we have the best of both worlds.
Right.
And we're so diversified that we've been able to sustain in every economic cycle. And that just comes with years and years of practice. And I was lucky to be with the right person, the billionaire Edmond Bessari, to learn so much from a genius whose Harvard called him the man with two brains. And I'm able to pass that along and pay it forward to the investors.
Well, and quite bluntly, I feel like I've got the mentoring from you on that as well. And I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. And so people can communicate with us, sfifund.com, and we take it from there. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate it.
Sounds good. Thank you for your time, Cherif. I really appreciate this.
Yes, sir.